Okay? Come on, prophet.
He became the progenitor of the dark races.
Okay.
Not the Negroes.
Not the who?
Not the Negroes.
Not the Negroes. On the bill of sales, and you look it up, brothers, look up the bill of sales for slaves, right? Guess what? Not one bill of sales says Africans. But guess what it does say? Negro. Prophets, read that again.
He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites.
These are all North Africans, okay? We're going to get ready to go into the father of Judah, Judah himself. We're going to let the prophets bring that out. And we're highlighting the characteristics of Judah. I am from the nation of Judah. My forefathers were slaves here in this land. Okay? So, let's get ready to go into the meat of the lesson. Let's go into the Studia Graphica. And we're going to go into the testament of Judah. What did Judah have to say himself? Okay?
The testament of Judah, the fourth son of Jacob and Leah.
The fourth son of Jacob and Leah. That's a special number for Christ, isn't it?
Well, it represents him specifically because he was the fourth born. We know that our Messiah came through this lineage.
Okay.
And so, yeah, 4 is a significant number and normally does represent Yeshua.
Okay.
The copy of the words of Judah, what things he spoke to his sons before he died. They gathered themselves together, therefore, and came to him, and he said to them, Hearken, my children, to Judah, your father. I was the fourth son born to my father Jacob, and Leah, my mother, named me Judah, saying, I give thanks to the Most High, because he hath given me a fourth son also. I was swift in my youth and obedient to my father in everything. And I honored my mother and my mother's sister. And it came to pass when I became a man that my father blessed me, saying, Thou shalt be a king, prospering in all things.
Wow. Now hold it right there. Judah said that he honored his mother and his mother's sister. His mother's sister was who? Rachel.
And the Most High showed me favor in all my works, both in the field and in the house. I know that I raced a hind and caught it and prepared the meat for my father. And
all right, prophet. You know what? The prophet is right on point. I had to stop because that's a characteristic, again, on the so-called black man, the nation of Judah. We're quick.
Yeah,
Judah said we're fast. We have, guess what? A Judite won the races in Germany before Hitler in the nations. He was a Judite. He wasn't a Benjamite. He was a Judite. His name was Jesse Owens. We have the world's fastest runners here in the United States and all over the world. But that's a characteristic on the nation of Judah. All other brothers have a certain characteristic. There's something to it. Come on, prophet.
I raised a hind and caught it and prepared the meat for my father, and he did eat. And the roes I used to master in the chase.
And the roes I used to master in the chase. You know what a roe is, brothers and sisters? A roe is like a female deer, an antelope. He caught it. He used to practice with him. I can't race that thing now. Me not right now. I can't run with that. Judah used to run with it. Come on, prophet.
And overtake all that was in the plains. A wild mare I overtook and caught it and tamed it. I slew a lion and plucked a kid out of its mouth.
Wait a minute. Is this some superhero stuff, probably?
It would be considered today a superhero, but actually we need to recognize it as those waking up as our stature, as our born, inherited, most high given stature. That's what we should be expecting out of ourselves. That's why the way, see how we look down when we look at the curses is so bipolar opposite of what Judah is saying.
Woo, we fell a long way, brothers. That's why we tell you that any religion or whatever book they present, I don't care if it's the Book of the Dead from the Egyptians. If they can't tell you who you are as a people, where you're going, and how you fail, and how to redeem yourself, It's not true. It's not you. It's not for you. This is the way. All right? Come on, prophet.
A wild mare I overtook and caught it and tamed it. I slew a lion and plucked the kid out of its mouth. I took a bear by its paw.
What?
And hurled it down the cliff.
Wait a minute, brothers and sisters. I know what hurl means, okay? I watched the Super Friends. I know what that means. Hurl, he picked it up and threw it like it wasn't nothing. This is Judah. This is a man in the flesh. What kind of strength did he have at this time? We don't know.
No, it was the strength that was given to him.
It was strength that was given to him.
Because they kept the laws. You know, when you think about how they live, and like he said, he gave honor to his mother, you know, so we know that's one of the scriptures, of course.
He was obedient to his father.
Right, and his dad had already prophesied over him and told him that he was going to be a king and prosper in all things.
Wow.
So, including this.
Wow.
And so basically we can look at that as being spoken over our lives now that we're waking up.
Well, I want to walk in that call of prophecy.
We need to walk in it.
Okay.
We need to walk in it.
Salaki, where you at, prophet? Sorry.
I took a bear by its paw and hurled it down the cliff, and it was crushed. I outran the wild boar, and seizing it as I ran, I tore it in sunder. A leopard in Hebron leaped upon my dog, and I caught it by the tail and hurled it on the rocks, and it was broken in twain. I found a wild ox feeding in the fields, and seizing it by the horns and whirling it around and stunning it, I cast it from me and slew it.
Judah was a king. Judah had these special abilities, brothers and sisters. He had that. That's the line of Judah.
It almost seems like it was a restoration too, like a snapshot of the restoration of the dominion that was lost by Adam, by him knowing, you know, being over all of he would be able to do something like that, seeing that he had dominion. You want me to continue?
Yeah, keep on.
And when the two kings of the Canaanites came sheathed in armor against our flocks, and much people with them, single-handed I rushed upon the king of Hazor, and smote him on the greaves, and dragged him down, and so I slew him.
Brothers and sisters, I don't know if y'all understand this, okay? Because you know I look at medieval stuff. I know what greaves are. That's your armor. It's particularly like your shoulder pads and stuff like that. Your greaves. Judah said he ran up on him single-handed and slew him, right? This man had armor on. This was one of the kings. What particular strength and ability and powers, again, did our forefathers have? We fell from grace. We really did. Come on, brother.
And the other, the king of Tappuah, as he sat upon his horse, I slew, and so I scattered all his people. Achor the king, a man of giant stature.
Very tall, a man of giant stature.
I found, hurling javelins before and behind as he sat on horseback. And I took up a stone of 60 pounds weight and hurled it and smote his horse and killed it. And I found with this other for 2 hours. And I fought with this other for 2 hours. And I clave his shield in two, and I chopped off his feet and killed him. And as I was stripping off his breastplate, behold, 9 men, his companions, began to fight with me. And I wound my garment on my hand, and I slung stones at them, and killed 4 of them, and the rest fled. And Jacob, my father, slew Bezlasath, king of all the kings, a giant in strength, 12 cubits high.
12 cubits high. They were killing giants, brothers and sisters. Jacob killed a giant. Come on.
And fear fell upon them, and they ceased warring against us. Therefore, my father was free from anxiety in the wars when I was with my brethren.
Now, brothers and sisters, the nation of Gad, we will be going over that as well. But Gad would tell you stories according to their forefathers. When they came here in the land, they fought giants. They were in battle with giants. We were in battle with giants. That's the number one enemy. That's been the enemy. King David, as a boy, killed a giant. So the truth is, the Bible is the truth when it talks about these fallen angels came down and made it with women and they had giants. It's true. Come on, prophet.
Therefore, my father was free from anxiety in the wars when I was with my brethren, for he saw in a vision concerning me that an angel of might followed me everywhere, that I should not be overcome.
An angel of what?
Of might. That was Michael, wasn't it?
I would think it was Michael.
That followed me everywhere, that I should not be overcome. And in the south there came every time I see a characteristic, I just want to highlight these are notes that we should be taking, especially if we're just waking up, because we're trying to detox and be reawakened to who we really are. So we need to understand, we talk a lot about angels covering us. Here it is written in scripture that according to our brother and the line that we come from, there are angels assigned.
Right there. And the Most High is the same yesterday, today, and forever. It don't change. We have angels protecting us right now, brothers and sisters. As long as we continue to be obedient, walk with the Most High, he say, I will never leave thee nor forsake thee. All right? Come on, prophet. And
in the south there came upon us a greater war than that in Shechem. And I joined in battle array with my brethren, and pursued 1,000 men, and slew of them 200 men, and 4 kings. And I went up upon the wall, and I slew 4 mighty men, and so was captured Hazor, and took all the spoil. On the next day we departed to Eriton, a city strong and walled in and inaccessible, threatening us with death, and inaccessible, threatening us with death. But I and the Most High approached on the east side. But I got right here, prophet. I said I got but I and Gad. Oh, I'm sorry. I look like the Most High. Sorry. But I and Gad, you're right. But I and Gad approached on the east side of the city, and Reuben and Levi on the west. And they that were upon the wall, thinking that they were alone, were drawn down against us. And so my brothers secretly climbed up the wall on both sides by stakes, and entered the city, while the men knew it not. And we took it with the edge of the sword. And as for those who had taken refuge in the tower, we set fire to the tower, and took both it and them. And as we were departing, the men of Tapah set upon our set upon our spoil, and delivering it up to our sons, were fought with them as far as Tapah. And we slew them, and burnt their city, and took as spoil all that was in it. Okay. Yours says seized. Yeah, so we are. So again, just for the listening audience, he's reading from the Pseudepigrapha, and I'm reading from the internet, where you can find this on the internet if you don't have a Pseudepigrapha, at www.earlychristianwritings.com /text/patriarch. So you can find it there. It's a great source if you don't have a Pseudepigrapha. Okay, all right. So picking up here at verse 6. And when I was at the waters of Kaziba, the men of Jobel came against us to battle. And we fought with them and routed them, and their allies from Shiloh we slew. And we did not leave them. We did not leave them power to come in against us. And the men of Machir came upon us the 5th day to seize our spoil, and we attacked them and overcame them in fierce battle. For there was a host of mighty men amongst them, and we slew them before they had gone up the ascent. And when we came to their city, their women rolled upon us stones from the brow of the hill, and on which the city stood. And I and Simeon hid ourselves behind the town, and seized upon the heights, and destroyed this city also. And the next day it was told us that the king of the city of Gaash with a mighty host was coming against us. I therefore and Dan feigned ourselves to be Amorites